Let's bring in Jared Blikre now for a look at what is moving today. And Jared, it looks like those chip stocks are leading tech higher.
You bet. And just to follow up on the narrative that you began the show with, all of this comes off of that nasty retail sales print that we got earlier today at 8:30 a.m. Basically, the value cyclical trade on hold or declining, and those growth names, those chip names, those are going higher. So today we have, and let's take a look at the Wi-Fi Interactive here. I'm focusing on Micron and AMD. Now, Micron here is up 4%, AMD is up 1%. Now, Micron was added to Raymond James' favorite list while Qualcomm was removed, and AMD only yesterday held an event for its Milan chip, that's a server chip, and impressed a lot of analysts. So let's take a look at what Deutsche Bank is saying about that. AMD delivered, quote, another impressive generation of server central processing unit products, even against elevated expectations. The launch should further bolster AMD's revenue growth and market share gains, with the executing on all fronts. That would be the company. They have a hold on that stock right now. Wedbush holds an outperform on it with a price target of 110, substantially higher. See, it's about $84, $85 or $83.36 right now. Wedbush is saying the event was largely in line with expectations, but Milan sets AMD up to continue to take in servers and positions it to outperform consensus expectations, especially in the second half of the year. And as we've seen before, when AMD does something that investors like, Intel tends to slump, but we are not seeing that today. Intel is up 2% as well. So chip stocks leading tech higher as we speak, Alexis.
All right, want to talk a little airlines now, because yesterday at this time, you and I were talking about how they were having that recovery rally, but I guess it was pretty short-lived, huh?
Yeah, if you look at the two-day performance, this is today, so I'm going to flip this to 2 days. You can still see some green for the airlines. United's up 6.6%, Alaska is up 3.9%, American up 5.6%. A lot of optimism as there was an industry conference yesterday by JP Morgan, and they were giving their estimates for reopening and getting cash flow even instead of negative, and that sent them up. But Alaska Air, and this is coming by way of Goldman, they have a few comments about two names, Alaska Air and United, saying these are the two best companies to play the reopening trade, at least in the airline sector. Alaska has the best risk reward within Goldman's coverage universe, given its industry-leading balance sheet, unique cost tailwinds, and exposure to domestic and leisure demand, which is expected to be fastest market to cover. And then United seems the most attractive option to gain exposure to the recovery of international and corporate demand toward the end of 2021 and into 2022. Here's a look at Alaska, and I'm just going to go back and show you this entire space as of year to date, and you can see the reopening trade, well, we give them back a little bit today, still in full force, Alexis.
All right. It looks like Google is taking a page from Apple's playbook when it comes to its app store. It looks like it's cutting its fees there in half. Is that moving the stock today?
Well, we are seeing Alphabet up about 1.5%. Does kind of have that growth tailwind that most of the FANG stocks are benefiting from. But this is pretty interesting because they're following a move that Apple made relatively recently, where they cut their developer fees in half. So they're going from 30% to 15% at the Google App Store for the first $1 million in revenue. And they're expecting that 99% of the developers will benefit from this change. Only the mega app developers that pull in the most money aren't going to benefit from this as much. Anyway, the program launches July 1st, and I find the timing pretty interesting. So yeah, they're going off of an Apple move that was similar, and who knows, we might end up in a price war. But what's causing all this? Well, we know that there's an Epic suit against Apple and also Alphabet, and that's because of the alleged problems in the App Store. And then you also have these antitrust suits going on against both Alphabet and Apple, and more of a position with more of a big deal with Apple because Google is more in the ad business. But nevertheless, we just got news today that there's this Texas antitrust suit going on, and 4 states plus Puerto Rico have joined the case. That would be Alaska, Florida, Montana, Nevada. So more states piling in on the antitrust fund and also lowering those app fees may or may not be related, Alexis.
All right, before I let you go, we got to get a check of those meme stocks that we keep talking about. It looks like GameStop has been piling up the losses for the past couple of days.
That's right, and we'll take a look at that right now. GameStop is only down 1% today, and we'll take a look at the 2-day price action. had been down about 25% at these lows. So we're well off those lows right now. Being down 1.5% for GameStop, pretty much meaningless. I'll tell you what, there's some news that I'm really excited about because Wall Street Bets founder, he's going to Hollywood, and this would be Jamie Rogozinski, the founder of Wall Street Bets. He has now inked a deal with United Talent Agency. This is the home of both Kevin Hart and Seth Rogen. Doesn't mean that they're going to be working together, but UTA has already lined up a speaking engagement for Rogozinski, and they're talking about podcasts. So I'll tell you what, I think there's going to be a movie coming. Well, there's going to be several movies coming. I read that there are 9 projects based on the GameStop and Reddit phenomenon that are in the works right now. One of them, not necessarily related to Rogozinski, is an MGM production, and they're going to be making a movie from the book by Ben Mesrich. And he was the one who wrote the novel, or the books, the script that inspired The Social Network. So pretty interesting. I think these things may hit the silver screen as early as next year. And guess what? Movie theaters should be fully reopened by them. Cross our fingers.
Cross our fingers. That would definitely be great. I know AMC is opening up more theaters, especially in California this week. We'll have to see who the actors are who star in some of those meme-related films. See if Leo DiCaprio can get himself in there somehow. Jared
Opposite
Blikre,
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I think for sure. My money's on Seth. All right, we shall see. I'm sure Hollywood's all over it, not to fear.